I did something today that I said I would never, ever do. I downtuned one of my guitars. I'll tell you why I downtuned and what I downtuned to, which you guys will probably be able to figure that out once I start playing here. I'll tell you that at the end of the video. And by the way, this is going to be pretty short video here, but I want you to hear a couple of tones. I'm going to let you hear two tones, in fact. One is going to be playing through the plugins because that's what I was using to tune my guitar and all that good stuff. So I'm going to let you hear that. After that, I'm going to share a tone playing through a real live amp so we can hear what that sounds like as well in this new downtuned key. Alright, so that was through an amp sim. Now I want you to hear what this new downtuned key sounds like with a real live amp. Yes, one of those notes was slightly out of tune, and that's because these are brand new strings. Gotta give them time. I want to tell you why I downtune, why I finally decided to do this and what's going to happen next, but real quick, so the plugin, the amp sim that you heard was, you guys probably already know what that was, it was Positive Grid's Bias Amp 2. The 5153 MK2 amp, that's been kind of my go-to amp for this particular plugin. I use it with FX, with BiFX, I can't say it. I use that with Bias FX2 because I like to use the screamer and effects and blah blah blah. So anyways, that was the first tone you heard, and the second tone with the real amp, of course, was my EVH. Well, this is the only amp I own at the moment, my EVH 5153 with the EL34 tubes. I just mic'd it up with a Shure SM57 and voila, that was the tone. So why did I decide to downtune? Well, for one, I've had a lot of inner struggles with my guitars lately, and this is something I'll share in a very near future video. I'll talk more about this, but I've been kind of wanting to toy around with a different tuning other than standard. I've played standard tuning my entire career as a musician. I say career loosely. I mean, when I first started out, I wasn't a professional musician, of course, but I've been playing in standard tuning for 30 plus years. And I just started doing some research on the key of E flat, which is what I was tuned to just now. And you guys probably figured that out. You're probably saying, well, yeah, it sounds a little bit lower, but not substantially lower. Well, I just downtuned to E flat across the board. And in doing my research and reading about some of the other bands that I like, that I listen to, which is a lot of the classic metal and just the old school thrash metal and melodic heavy metal, that sort of thing, a lot of those bands tuned to E flat, and even Joe Satriani, when he started playing with Chickenfoot, he actually tuned to E flat, and I just kind of read up more on how that impacts your tone, your songwriting, and all those factored in. I'm like, you know, let me just try this out. So here's what happened today. I was changing my strings. Now, I had these hybrid strings on my LTD here. They're Elixirs, which I'm about to switch string brands next week, even though I just changed my strings. There will be another video for that. But I had these hybrid Super Lights hybrids. So they were 9 to 46. The gauge kind of substantially changes between the G and D string, which I don't really care for that too much. So I decided just to go back to the 10 through 46, just the regular lights. So as I was putting that on my guitar, and it just kind of organically tuned to E flat when I changed strings. So I started jamming through it. I'm like, hey, I kind of like this. I'd been wanting to do this anyway, so I'm here. I like it, and I hope you like the tones as well. Please let me know in the comments. Now, one quick thing I must tell you is after I finish this video here, which is going to be soon, I'm actually going to change this guitar, my LTD, back to standard tuning just for a few days. I have a gig this Sunday, and I'm going to be playing to some original backing tracks from my past albums and some new stuff as well that I made, and that's already recorded in standard tuning. So if I were going to keep this in E flat, I would have to re-record those tracks right now or between today and tomorrow to be prepped for this gig. I don't want to do that. I don't think that would be smart, so I am going to shift it back to standard tuning right now. But after this gig, I'm actually considering going back, or actually I'm strongly 98, maybe 99% going back to the E flat tuning on this guitar. And I'm also strongly considering re-recording the tracks that I've already recorded for my next album in this key here, because I am really digging it, guys. And again, I'd love to know your comments. So please leave comments on what you thought of this tone, both with a plug-in and with a real amp in this key of E flat. And again, downtuning is something I said I would never do. In fact, I made a video on it up here, 5 reasons why I don't downtune. And I'm breaking my own rules here. I think Ozzy had a cool song called Breaking All the Rules. Really cool song. Anyway, I broke my rule, which I'm happy about. And real quick, another thing was just, I've been feeling the need to kind of evolve my guitar playing a little bit. Not really my guitar playing, but my songwriting. And I think this different key is going to help me do that. It's going to help me just bring you guys some fresh material, some fresh music, some stuff that you really haven't heard from me. Yeah, it's going to be heavy metal, and it's going to be, it's going to be melodic and all that good stuff, but also kind of bring just a freshness to that as well. So that's part of the goal. But guys, again, let me know your comments. I'm always eager to read those. And seriously, guys, I truly appreciate your support on my channel. Real quick shout out to everyone who was on the premiere, which was the video right before this one, my premiere with Ed Aborn, the drummer for Siren. I'll throw a link to that video in the description. It's about an hour and 15-minute conversation that we have, but man, he's just telling his entire story of how Siren once was in the 80s, but they never really got like serious momentum. But then 30 years later, they didn't realize that they had a German fan base, and this whole magical, like unexpected and unbelievable thing happened to where they got to tour in Germany 30 years later. Crazy story. So link is in the description for that. And again, I want to thank all you who showed up for the premiere of that. Again, that's the video before this one. So guys, again, thank you for your support. Please give this video a thumbs up. Check all the links in the description of this YouTube video. That link I just mentioned is in there. And of course, there are links to my free practice guide, which a lot of you have. If you don't, you need to grab it. And my music as well, and some other cool stuff. So check that out. That's just cool ways to support me, and I deeply appreciate that. Guys, until the next video, as always, keep it metal.